Sorry about that, y'all. Good evening. Welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the talk show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so-called African American didn't find their way to America in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the Indigenous one. First of all, I want to say welcome to everybody who joined us tonight. We want to talk about something that's really, really important. You know, what's going on with the children and all these things that we think are cool and they're really not cool. I'm sure everybody picked up what's going on at Disneyland. Disneyland was taking cruise ships to Epstein's Island. This is how bad the stuff is going. This is how bad the world has gotten. And this is what I'm saying. It can't be that way without our participation. See, we keep forgetting that we're in on it too. We reap what we sow. We can't act like we don't see this and we don't know what's going on and we're not into it, and we are. That's a bad look, and it also makes sure that your children don't know what's going on, and so they can be easily subdued. We have to pay attention to those things and all this stuff that's going on in the community with all this dumb shit that's going on. We got to look at how it is. We're totally surrounded by foreigners, and the shit that we do, especially in this so-called indigenous community, don't do that shit because indigenous people don't act like that. We don't act like crime. We don't lie to our people. We try to, everybody we come across, we try to lend a hand. That's what we do. A lot of people don't do that. They just try to get into a place and eat up everything at their table. That's one of the prerequisites that you have to be an African American. They're so devolved from their people, they don't even know who they are. So, but what we want to talk about today is the stuff that's going on, especially in the indigenous community, people who are trying to, put their fingerprints on the indigenous community, and you're really making asses of yourselves. I mean, seriously. Those of you who you're foreigners, and you try to come in and be us, bro, don't you know we can see through that? Just like if I go to whatever country I go to, they can tell that I'm not them. But the so-called African American Negro, they don't think like that. Matter of fact, they don't think at all. And you can see this pervading itself through the culture. So we got a slideshow for you tonight. Joining me, as always, is the Accomack clan mama, Miss Lisa Cypress. How you doing, Lisa? You there, Lisa? Oh, well, she probably stepped away for a minute. But anyway, so as I was saying when we first started, so you've been hearing about all this stuff, all these Disneyland, all these things that we thought were cool. So a bunch of shit. A lot of us been knowing it, but now it's like, it's come to light. They're trying to sexualize these kids. Why? Why do the teachers have to talk about sex to strange children? And why do we send our children to be trained by them? There she go. How you doing, Lise?
Hey, how you doing? Kayuk to the chat. Hello, everyone. Alito, Aseo, and the best chat to the best chat in the land.
So,
Yes.
Lisa.
Hey.
Oh, you got your own little cheering section. So
Nah,
cool.
really?
So I'm gonna go ahead and
We
put up.
had it. We
Um,
got cheers. We got cheers together, right? We cheering
right.
up.
That's right. That's right. You're absolutely right. So how was your day today?
It was great. It was great. Beautiful day, beautiful weather. Nice still. I'm outside. You know, doing got the fire going. You know what I'm saying? Fire. I can see a fire. Yeah, I can't see it too good, but you add to it. Yeah, that's a fire's going. All right. Oh, I guess you could see it better if I lit it up. Yeah, lit it up a little bit.
So you
Okay.
got a fire going.
Got the fire going. Got the fire going. Chilling.
Okay, well, cool. So what we want to talk about, we want to end this seduction stupidity, so we can just let you guys know, what it does, really,
Right.
how it looks, and how it makes us look as a group, and how it makes our women look, and how other people, since all these foreigners are coming over here, you're about to be face to face with some Ukrainians, people you've never met before.
Right. Absolutely.
We can't be out here dumb.
Nope.
So so we can't be out there, I'm gonna change the word dumb because it's one of my favorite words. Because damn, you got to call
My
it what it is.
favorite words. Yeah.
I mean, seriously. I mean, you don't look at a dog and say cat.
Right.
You don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the stuff that we do. I mean, damn. I mean, and these are so-called people who have a brain in their head,
Right.
and the stuff they do and say and trying to be. Notice everybody is always trying to be you. Other people
Always.
Other people are coming over here. They're not trying to sound like their mothers. They're trying to sound like your mothers. And we just play. And this is when people coming over ripping you off in your face.
Right. We got all these different nationalities trying to do our music, imitating our style, imitating our dances, and we don't, we ain't got nothing to say about it but buy their music and keep it moving. That's all we do. We just buy into it.
Yeah. Uh, so what I'm going to do because everybody got to change. We all evolving. We all
Right.
climbing up in steps. We're not devolving, are we?
We better not be.
We're not devolving, are we?
We better not be.
So we're not devolving.
No.
So I'm gonna kick the word dumb to the curb for a minute now. It might come in every now and then. And because I realize that dumb people don't even realize they dumb.
No, they don't.
And and the
Not at
reason
all.
why, is this word that I'm just gonna use, and Lisa's gonna help me with. This word is demoralized.
Right. Right.
We've been demoralized. I mean, and most of that falls on us because we take in demoralizing content. We like demoralizing bullshit. We like to be demoral. We talk demoral. We have no morals. We'll just do anything. That's what the African American has been devolved to. This cat right here says, and it's a true statement. The United States is at present so demoralized and so corrupted that, like France and England, it need not be taken into consideration as a military adversary. This looks like this was in the 40s, 50s. Richard Walther Dare. Is that true about now? See, many
Like
of
in the
us don't
1920s, they talking about that.
know. 1920s.
Yeah.
Is that what's happening now? And from 1920 to now, that's 100 years. How have we been involved in what goes on in the United States? What's been our part in it? How come we haven't taken over governments and governed ourselves? If we said the Pledge of Allegiance and did all that bullshit, how come we don't do that? So, you know, demoralizing. That's what I'm seeing. We're just demoralized. That's why the pan's still sad. We're demoralized. We don't think nothing of ourselves. I mean, damn. I mean, if you're gonna do that, at least come up with a whole new wardrobe for us to get into, where we can start making our own clothes. No, we don't do that. We just go to the lowest, just devolve ourselves as low as we can to where we can't even go no more. We don't never look up or never look out to see how we gonna change it. Demoralized. So, what do you think about that, Lisa?
Well, um, I'm trying to figure out why my laptop died. Um, yeah, I think that that's true, and I think that seeing how people are, and seeing how these young folks, like there's more pictures of penis and cuckoo and all kinds of stuff being passed around, and it's just like too much is being shared. People are oversharing their privates. We don't need to be sharing our privates. We don't see I need to see everything over the Instagram, TikTok, and then twitting and then freaking you know Instagram in our whole bodies. That's just it's disgusting. And that's not our culture. We are a modest people. That's what every early invader said, that we were a very modest people. We have gotten to a point where we are amoral. Amoral being an adjective. Amoral being someone concerned not or influenced by right or wrong. We don't seem to have a compass of right or wrong. What's okay and what's okay. What was that song you was playing? Let's play that song again. Roll the music.
Oh, do it till you're satisfied.
Do it to yourself. Let's hear that.
Oh, I killed it.
It's gone.
Well, I
Oh,
got to go and look for it. So,
oh no, no, never mind. Let's leave it alone. But anyway, that song is basically that was probably a turning point. That whole when we got into that song was like a really lethal message. It was like, you know what? Do it, whatever it is, as long as it pleases you. And that kind of mentality was not something that we actually valued. Fringe people, they were very rare people that actually lived like that. The majority of the American Indians were very moral people. Just had a very good sense of what is right, what is wrong, courtesy, ethics. That's how we live. And also you got to consider some of these people that are really amoral aren't us. They look like us, but they're not us. Because our nature is to be good natured. Our nature is to really be conservative and to be very caring, to be caretakers. That's what we are. And all this, a lot of our children and a lot of these people and grown people as well, because there's a lot of old nasty booties just shaking all around. I don't want to see grandma shaking her butt. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see it. I actually
good.
don't want to see grandpa trying to act sexy either. I think that's really kind of gross anyway. Go somewhere and go with your own and hang around your own people. Don't show yourself off like you sexy all over YouTube. That's kind of gross too. There's just a limit to it. You know what I mean? A couple of pictures, that's fine. But you trying to make yourself a YouTube sex symbol, that's a little bit too much. Slow your butt down. Okay, let's put some things back in perspective. Let's stop going overboard. You know what? We think that what the daggone Europeans do, that's for us. We can't let anybody else on this planet guide us. We are the guides. Everybody follows us. And we are driving ourselves into a ditch. We're driving ourselves off a cliff. We gotta pull the reins and pump the brakes. This whole trek we're on gotta stop. Immoral is an adjective, and it says, means that we're failing to accept the principles of morality. We're not accepting our own principles. I understand. A lot of us grew up with mamas that they weren't fit to be mamas and daddies that weren't fit to be daddies. These people, as I always say to y'all, you came through these people. These people aren't you. Just because you came through your mama and your daddy, you come through millions of people. They are mighty and powerful and loving and nurturing. You need to embrace your ancestors. You need to know your other kin. You need to reach out to your daggone people because there are people in your family living right here today that are just like you, have the same values, laugh at the same stuff, want to play the same the games because you are kin. You will find the commonality amongst your people, but you got to start researching and you got to start reaching out. Right? What did he say? Demoralized. Most of us portrayed by those 35 and over, reverting to the older, follow the idolized young, moving backwards. Just my armpit. Okay, I don't really know. That was a lot. That was a mouthful. Okay, yeah, what he said. And so, okay, so really, we got to end this seduction, seduction stupidity. Anything that's showing a piece of titty or a butt or something or whatever, we sit up there, we're attracted to it. We let these things, these people seducing us, attract us. Let me tell you, if they got to throw their daggone stuff in your face for you to be, for you to have your attention, don't you understand there is something wrong with that? That they got to throw all that stuff at you? What are they really trying to do? They're seducing you. If the YouTube is trying to seduce you, why do they need to seduce you if the information is true? If the information is true and correct, you don't have to see all kinds of boo-boos in your face. If the information is meant to edify, it does not have to have a sexual allurement attached to it. That's like a worm on a fishing line. Why you need the worm? Why are you throwing a worm at me? Am I a piece of fish? Why are you sticking a worm out? I don't want the worm. I want the truth. I want a remedy. I want things that are going to work in my life. And that's what you need to be focusing and listening to. If the things are not edifying you, if they don't have solutions for your life, stop watching that stuff. It's not helping, it's not building you up. That's a problem because we ain't got time to waste. We need to build. My laptop done totally damn died. Anyway, and I don't know why, because boo, I mean, I guess, sometimes there's a lot of negative energy in the world. Anyway, but that's just the thing. Everybody's trying to use all these mechanisms to distract us. Everybody's trying to get your attention, but most of the attention, the mechanisms that they're trying to use are negative. And most of any kind of solution, they're not really offering you solution. And the information that they do guise as being a solution is actually a dead end. And y'all get upset. And then the YouTubes that try to tell you these people are doing this, they doing that, they don't get no airtime. Nobody watches those. Nobody watches. They're going Indians, what is it called, Indians, what is it called, not the other one, the one that talks about the scandals. Anyway, y'all are probably on this daggone live, show yourself. Anyway, the one that actually talks about all these people that are doing whatever stuff. I mean, seriously, nobody watches those. So I mean, nobody really gets aware of the fact that these people are actual. They want to be hip hop, want to be rappers. They want attention, and they're trying to get fame. And half of them are brought and sold by the government, and you can tell by the things they don't say and by the things they do. They do say. Mostly, you can tell. Mostly, you can tell by what they don't tell you. That's why. That's how you can actually tell who's for real and who's not for real. Let's move on. But what we want to talk about today is really what is spiritually tearing us down and what we need to build up on. When I went to look up a damn what is that twerking, I saw all kinds of nakedness. I mean twerk. When you put up twerk, it shows naked sex. That's all it shows when you look up twerk. I had to say twerk with clothes on. I had to say twerk dance. And I had to specify because, honey, if you just say twerk, it's gonna be just bare sex. So I looked up twerk and I'm like, look, mostly it wasn't many of us because guess what? As soon as we do something, there's gonna be 20,000 other people, other cultures following behind us. That's how daggone powerful we are. We twerk, the whole world's twerking. If we could harness ourselves and actually organize ourselves to use the power that we have to do things that are actually conducive in this world, just think what we could do. Just imagine what we really could accomplish. One twerk and the whole world's twerking. Okay, this is the thing. We're this is the thing. Women, baby, we're the gatekeepers. If we're not healthy, ain't nobody healthy. If we ain't right, ain't nobody gonna be right. We have to get ourselves together. We have to get our emotional and mental health together. We can't be out here twerking and acting like our stuff got no value. If you don't value yourself, if you sit up there, people are bragging about who ate my booty. Okay? Young children are bragging about that. Young women. If he ate yours, how many others did he eat before he kissed your ass? I'm sorry, but that's the truth.
Shit eating motherfucker.
I'm sorry, but these I'm sorry, but the culture needs help, and I'm trying to help everyone understand that we have to uphold our culture, and that I mean, look, let me tell you something. You can eat whatever you want when you're in your relationship where you know everybody's not sleeping with everybody and spreading stuff, or at least people are agreed to be or having orgies. I don't know, but if you don't be out here in these streets like that. Don't disrespect yourself. Think more of yourself than to be just a freaking animal. Just stop that. And also talk to your daughters. You need to know where they're at. You know what they think. And not only that, I'm gonna say something very controversial. When my girls were young, I was concerned because as a young person, I felt that self pleasuring was never ever talked about, right? And I felt like a lot of women, the reason why they get so involved with just screwing and boy crazy and boy letting just boy, because they don't know how to self pleasure. So I will tell you that I gave my daughters vibrators. I do not recommend the overuse of vibrators or really a lot of use of them because it does desensitize you and there's problems with that. You cannot get addicted to a vibrator. That's ridiculous. I mean, you should not. You can get addicted to one. That's a problem, but you should not. But the reality is that if we are so dependent, we think the only way you can get it is by sleeping around. You're going to do a hell of a lot sleeping around to get a nut. So I really feel that it's important for us to talk about just self pleasure and be comfortable with letting your children being comfortable with their bodies as they mature. Not a child, but you know what I'm saying, as a young person, they need to understand this and that is okay. So they don't feel like they got to do other stuff all the time. Like that's the only way to come.
Yeah, I noticed that's in manhood, boy, little boys becoming men or young men. That's something that's not stressed in the community.
Right.
Going to that. No information or guidance is given to that.
And yet your sons are seeing booty popping and hearing about butt eating and doing all this stuff already, but you're not giving them no guidance. You're not letting them know. Do you know that they gonna get some trichomonas or some crap from that booty to the daggone vagina and and booty eating to the damn mouth and you kissing that, you getting this one and all this different booty and all this different stuff they doing without a care to daggone clean themselves or any kind of commitment to stay, and keep it in a zone. You see, that's the thing. You have to communicate, because if not, you're giving your kids up to these daggone savages out here. You're giving it up to these global predators. They're gonna send you them on a boat to daggone Nigger Island, where they're gonna make your children into sex slaves. We can't do it.
Demoralized.
We can't let you don't set up your own family. And also, you got to reach beyond your family. A lot of you don't got kids. Maybe your kids are grown, but you got nieces, nephews, cousins, distant cousins. We need to share this, and understand that. Let me go back to the other one, because I'm not finished talking about women. This is the thing. I mean, a lot of our women have had bad relationships, and a lot of us are like, well, I keep they ain't man, they ain't no good, nigga, they ain't no good. But only attract what you are, boo. And you got to be a healthy person to attract a healthy relationship. You got to love you first in order to be someone who's lovable and attract someone who's lovable, who's a loving person. You have to heal. If your daddy wasn't there, if your mama wasn't shit, you got to heal yourself. You're not fit to be involved with someone if you're still looking like this on the inside, smiling on the outside. If you're crying on the inside and smiling on the outside and trying to get laid so you can forget, that's a problem. And you know people like this. We all do. Let's talk about the brothers, because the brothers got issues too. What you say?
Um, it's like I said earlier about, when guys are going to manhood, like 12 and up, since we don't have our own calendars, since we always looking to somebody else to tell us whatever, we don't really have no, I mean, I'm talking about nationwide. Sure, there are certain families that have this implemented already. That is to be commended. It also should be spread around all the communities like these churches were or are. This is the type of information these young men are growing up to be something they'll be the rest of their lives. And they're not being taught shit, especially the males in schools, because I was one of them. Whatever the teacher said, if I asked a question, he couldn't answer. I
Right,
was the troublemaker. That's how
right,
most brothers are trained. You're not even listening to me. You're saying something that I don't understand. Could you say it again? And he don't know what to say because the teacher is doing what he's told to do.
right,
He don't know.
right,
And so when he gets a question from somebody who's in a different culture than him, I feel attacked. And that's what happens to most of these brothers out here. Why? Because they're not taught shit.
right,
Seriously, they're not taught nothing. Why? Because they mom and daddy don't know nothing. And we have to really look at that and stop running away from it like it ain't my fault. It is. You can't keep putting Disneyland in your kid's hand. No, this is a damn pedophile ring. You can't keep supporting all this crap.
mm,
Check out what this culture is.
right, right,
This culture's been taken over by these foreigners. What has it become? The men and the women, the boys and the girls are not what America created. They've been created by a whole nother entity. And these shines seem to like it. Because you're right, you're moral. You don't have no right or wrong. You wouldn't want something to happen to your daughter. You would do it to somebody else's daughter or mother or whoever. You have no morals, nothing to measure that against. You just do whatever because you were just an animal and you just out there doing whatever you want to do. For real? That's what we've been trained to do. We don't do it. We can't even resolve a conflict. Really? Because we're not taught that. We're taught what we say we are. We're taught that we're black on the inside, which means there's nothing there. Ah, what's up with your girl? Why your girl got her lips poked out like that?
Well, I mean, I want to go back to the guys a little bit because I think that what we don't say, if you go back to the guy for a minute, a lot of guy, a lot of guys, as well as females, they don't have that father figure, nor do they have the mother figure, right? A lot of guys, nobody, no men are, we don't go for men crying, and we don't want to see Will Smith cry, not in one, not never, no more. Okay, I'm sick of this. But if the reality is, a lot of men are crying on the inside. A lot of men had horrible mothers and no fathers, you know, and they're trying to do the best that I can. And a lot of guys are doing a heroic job of manning themselves up, but at the same time, they're missing a lot. They don't have examples, right? So they have a lot of resentment, and they got a lot of brokenness, and this stuff needs to be healed. It's not going to heal itself, and it comes, and this brokenness. The way you heal the brokenness is by looking back in the mirror, looking back at your life, and saying, "Well, she she was what she was. My mama was what she was. She really wasn't a mama. That wasn't her calling in life. She brought me into this world, but being mothering was not her gift. It was not her. She did not have that ability, right? And if we can actually look at people for what they are and take the fact of it, what we need, the fact. Look, let me tell you something. I survived. I made it. I come from a strong people, obviously. Look at what I did. Look at who I am. I'm proud of what I am. And the people I come from are greater even than the people I know. I only know my mother and my few aunties or whatever and an uncle, but I know that I come from amazing people because I can see what's in me. And as you do your research and do your genealogy, you're going to see these people. You're going to meet these people because you come from a merit of people. Many, many, many people make you up. But our men also have to deal with the brokenness that's inside of them because that's why a lot of these brothers are searching for that male attention in a very unnatural way. They jockeying for male attention. I mean, I'm gonna say they're almost dick riding for real. That's how intense this hunger you can it's palpable. And a lot of these brothers on the internet, on these daggone apps, Clubhouse or whatever, there's a palpable hunger for male attention that's pretty obvious to me because of the lack. It creates this whole desperate energy, right? But what it should indicate, I mean, because you don't want to be doing that in front of your kids. You don't want to be a thirsty man, thirsty for male attention in front of your family. That's not a good look. You can't be thirsty. You can't be thirsty because of your lack. You need to recognize it in yourself when it's there and reel that stuff in and understand and heal yourself. Like think about, like, yeah, I really feel like I didn't get that from my dad. I didn't get that from whoever, and I need to deal with that. I'm whole on my own. I don't need somebody that looks like me to co-sign me. I'm enough. I've done a lot with myself. I'm enough. I co-sign me. You see what I'm saying? All this extra, I need affirmation, external, whether it's you're in a relationship with somebody, you thirsty, or you daggone trying to get in these social groups with these men, fraternities, social groups, indigenous people groups, thirsty for attention. This is the same thing. It is all your lack, your brokenness. You got to heal that brokenness. it's not going to heal itself. And the first thing and the step to recognize it is you got to be perfectly honest with yourself. You got to look in the mirror and say, "Yeah, I'm acting kind of thirsty. What's wrong with me? I'm feel like I'm fiending for male attention and affirmation. What is going on? And what am I showing my sons and my grandchildren if I'm acting like this and I'm damn hella grown?" I don't know. Does that make sense? Let's move on to the next.
Oh yeah, that makes big sense.
And Grey Wolf said self-respect's being replaced by popularity, and I believe that. That's very true. That's a very valid point because for real, we don't care about our being respectable within ourselves and within our community and with our families. We care that we're popular in social media. Have these people be on these apps and all these different things. Children holler in the background, being raised by a video game while they trying to get daggone likes and get daggone following on social media. This is a real deal. Or listen, being engrossed and listening to people who really ain't talking about nothing. That time that they spend listening on these apps to these daggone fake Indians and these daggone wannabe superstars, YouTube stars. Why is it echoing? Um, could be better spent if they were actually talking to their elders, calling up somebody, getting to know their family tree, getting names written down. Also, to Miss Lisa, the young men don't respect our fathers because we have no history and therefore no authority. Well, yeah, I mean, that's right. We don't have that. But see, it starts with one person. One person can be a father, and you can make yourself that father. And in life, the thing about this is that even if you got parents, like I had, my parents in the house, it doesn't mean that they're perfect and they don't necessarily know all what they're doing. So it doesn't mean you're gonna be okay. And a lot of damage occurs in your family. When it's an intact family, your siblings and your parents can do a lot of damage to you. So it doesn't make it right or it doesn't make you whole. But the fact of the matter is, we all have to finish raising ourselves. What we neglect to do is finish the job. We got to work on it. It's a work. Sometimes you actually need to make an effort to heal and to focus on what you need. And the first part of healing is just like I said, recognize that you need it. Recognize you need to get better. And then
And
take the steps.
and
Go ahead.
and then I think that wallowing in that, this what happened to me. I mean, but isn't that what all these stories we stand up and clap about? Guy living in a bathroom with his son and he comes on to be great. It aren't those supposed to ignite us into doing something? We always hang on to the bad shit that happens to us in our lives. And I'm saying, in growing up, going from first grade to second grade, you try to do better than you did in the first grade. And it seems like that never enters our mind. You always got to strive. Everything you hear, everything you talk about, everything you tell your kids, strive for greatness. Don't let nothing hold you down. You can do it. You go to their games. They could be the sorriest one on the team. You pumping them up. Shouldn't we at least be that to ourselves instead of always, I don't know what happened. We always sad and crying. I mean, hey, and we're at war. And the further you go back, the more war was bombs blowing up in their houses. So you're being attacked, but you running, and the people that attack your people, you run and kiss them in the mouth. So we got to take some responsibility for things. We can't be stupid. We can't not know nothing. We can't just be trying to do something just to make money, because what they call money it's fiat. Shouldn't we be doing something? Aren't we the children that America produced, birthed? And we allow ourselves to get slapped around like this? We can't be going around like we ain't shit, because we're way more than that. And that's why we say what Lisa just said. Find out who your people are. Connect with your families, because there's a lot more people like you than you think there is. What's up with your homegirl on the picture, Lise?
This is the thing. It's not even just about, oh, we got a fighting relationship. A lot of times it's just friggin' unhealthy because y'all are not doing anything that is good for each other. And I mean it like this. He can't get right, you can't get right. You ain't helping each other get right. You're both stuck, but you don't want to move because why? You're just afraid to be alone. It's not that it's a violent relationship. It's not that you don't get along. It's that when you're together, it doesn't build anything. That sucks too. That's not healthy either. When actually anything that you're trying to do, you can't look to the other to actually help you get it done. Neither one of you can count on the other person to get anything done, right? I mean, I know everybody knows people. It might be your relationship. Everybody knows someone who has that kind of relationship. It might be one-sided. You might be doing everything, doing all the pulling, and that person really, you can't depend on them to do really much of nothing. Or it might be neither one of you. Neither one of you are getting right, and you're drowning, and neither one of you can actually save your situation. These are unhealthy situations that when we are desperate and we don't value ourselves, we stay in. We stay in these things that are like sitting in a casket.
Let me ask you a question. How, like you said, we're sitting in these situations. What does that do to us? It's like we're just stuck in one place and we never go nowhere from there. We never get off that spot.
This is the thing that everybody needs to tell themselves. Not making a decision is making a decision. Like if you say, well, if you think you don't like your girlfriend, or why don't you just leave her? Well, when you say, I don't really want to make that move, you're making a move. Not making a move is making a move. There's never not a decision. You're choosing not to make a decision is a decision. But when you decide not to be proactive, when things aren't right, and you decide to accept something that is not suitable for your life, you don't get but one shot at this that we know of right now. This deal is a one shot. You can't redo your day, you can't redo your hour. So every minute you spend in something that is chipping away at your soul is a loss. It's a loss. You feel me?
Feel
We deserve the best that we can be, and we need to be the best that we are so that we can have a fulfilling thing. I enjoy me. You have to love you before you can bring a good anybody to a relationship. All these broken people together don't make nothing but a mess. Go ahead. Like talk. Mhm.
who is Bethonia Giles?
Well, I was talking about the fact that these what we're seeking these societies. Like, she has what it says is a Waya Indian something. I don't even know what that is, but it's called the Waya tribe. There's no such Waya tribe in Florida or South Carolina, or really anywhere in North America. There's talk of Wayas in Mexico, but the reality is, people are making up these societies, these false tribes, and these societies are a superficial remedy. This is not really remedy. You can't really self-protect, self-govern. You can't really do anything that's going to change the life for you or your kin with these organizations. The people who are, having you pay for enrollment or whatever they're doing, or affidavits they're making out. But what you're doing is not anything for yourself. And a lot of people like these associations because they want to just jump in with some like-minded people, but your kin are the people that hold the keys to your land, your heritage, and your culture, also to your freedom. You can't get real freedom in this daggone United States of confusion without actually being a nation, a real tribal nation of your real people. Any other mechanism is just going to run you in a circle, a dead end, a dead end. And that's a problem. And nobody wants to call it what it is, but there are many of these societies and organizations of indigenous people. There are a lot of people that I know. There are people who are acamaks, and they don't even organize themselves as acamaks. They're in these societies. Why? Because they make their them feel important. They got a position. They got a feeling of respect in these organizations. So rather than actually organize as the real person that you are and have real rights and help that actually create a real nation, they want to be in fake societies. And that's what this is an example of. And the people that do it, like, if you really are an Indian, why are you doing it? So then you got to think, are they really Indian or are they foreign invaders to just get you off your path of getting your real reparations? Next. We want all this attention. We watching all these different things. We watching people act like dirty birds and people talking about smoking each other out, being Indians. Who wants to smoke? Who wants to smoke? Aboriginals wanting smoke and dirty birds being mad all the time. We can't be, we cannot be doing that. We're better than that. We can't be angry all the time. We can't spend our time watching angry people and smoking Aboriginals. Aboriginals, when you Google them, that's what you see. You get a picture of that. You get a cartoon like that of an Aboriginal in Australia that has nothing to do with a land patent, a grant, has nothing to do with getting any kind of, self-governing rights, any kind of daggone real historical and long-lasting benefits for you and your kids and your kids' kids and your kids. That's what these people that are just saying, well, it don't matter what you call yourself. It matters when you go to court. And that is if you plan on doing anything real to try to actually become the people that you really are. It matters when you go to court. You can't win if you're not under the right standing, the right identity, and you also need to have the right energy. So we cannot zap ourselves by getting ourselves distracted by just all this anger. Anger and daggone confusion is not helping anybody. Next. We can't get ourselves distracted with that. When we should be on the phone. We could be spending our time on the phone talking to our auntie or our uncles. Now, this is what we had a posting of this, and I think it was like this when we first started. And if y'all know what this blue bra is, where this blue bra belongs, then y'all really watching something you shouldn't be watching. Because anybody who goes out with lingerie or just a bra on to talk to you about real indigenous stuff, what are they really doing? Are they really American? Have they even shown what they are for real? Amani came on here. He showed his picture, his family, his picture ID. Um, why are you watching people that are actually probably not you, most likely African, because everything they do is exaggerated. They're throwing titties and bras in your face and talking very, very intellectual. Some things don't make sense. Why are you throwing titties and bras in my face, but you're talking like you're a daggone professor? It doesn't make sense. It's not sensible. And if it's not sensible, why do you believe it? Why are you following it? Am I here? Y'all hearing me? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is a thing. Okay, so a lot of these people Just like Tasha K, who had that whole court case and was sued and lost. She's an African. She don't tell you she's an African. She makes millions of dollars talking about us. We're not making millions of dollars talking about us. She comes into this country, impersonates us, and makes millions of dollars talking about us. We have that in the indigenous community right now. Many of these people that are talking to you are not even American. They're immigrants. They're first gen, maybe second gen, but they're immigrants. They're impersonating you and getting money from it. A lot of it. Because they will actually compensate them to keep us confused. Because the confusion of the American Indian is very valuable. Because once we know what we know, everybody gotta go. Really. Essentially, it's gonna change the game. So the game, the whole part of this, the whole world is conspiring to make sure that the game never changes. The entire planet is conspiring to keep the secret about the American Indian. And it's they that are ensuring that the game never changes here. Because everybody's invested in this daggone place. It's not the British colony, it's an international colony. This corporation's international. It's been from the inception. It never was just British. If you read about Powhatan, Powhatan had his house built by Germans. He had a house built by him. Read. You should be reading and talking to your family. You should be reading, researching, and talking to your family. And don't let these damn foreigners educate you because they're trying, they're guiding you in a certain direction. And that's it. They're misguiding you, like always. Let's go to the next. So we had to change the picture to that because the titties, oh, YouTube got mad because there was too much titties in it. But yet the whole titties are showing every damn day on the YouTube and the videos. But the picture was too much for the thumbnail. I'm confused. But that's what happened. Had to cover up the titties. The titties that are all over the daggone table when you see the videos every day. So
Every day.
everything's being controlled. We have this daggone country. You might as well say we're under martial law now because that's the way they're acting, the way they're policing everything.
Have you
Understand this.
have you noticed on some of the sites when you go to look up some information, it'll say that the site is blocked or the site something is
Right,
wrong.
right.
Are you noticing that now?
Exactly. The information that was available, just a few months ago is no longer available to us. Like for real, for real. Like we used to have a lot of a lot of daggone websites. You can't even find some of the books, some of the images. They're gone. They are gone. And that's not an accident. It's not an accident. It's on purpose, you know. And for those of you that are just like starting to watch or starting to learn, I mean, you wouldn't even know the difference. But if you look back, I mean, there was so much information available a few years ago. And now, good luck. You got to depend on the people that downloaded files and downloaded images and shares them. You know, sad but true. Next. So we talked about the problems. And, we don't try to just be like problems. Everybody sucks. Y'all suck. We suck. We try to get to the solution. It's all about the solution, right? Let's work on a solution. So what's the answer to all this stuff we got going on?
Uh, my, do I do my 2 cents first?
Huh?
I,
Yeah, go ahead.
one of the things I think we should think more about ourselves, not
Right,
what other people say or what other people make us out to be and what they pat us on the head and try to get us to believe in what they believe in. I mean,
right,
like we said earlier, your family. For those or people that are from the South, those people were expert farmers, best farmers in the world on the best soil in the world.
right,
That's in you. That's in you have that in you.
Right.
I mean, you could use that for something, to change your family. What are you? Not are you just a dime piece to somebody else? Because that's what all these foreigners are coming over to make money off of you.
Oh yeah.
To
Oh
make
yeah.
money, they make so much money so easy that if I start saying some names of the ways they make money, how we give them trillions, most of you will be pissed at me. And it's the truth.
Right.
And see, that's another
Right.
thing about us. We don't want to look at what we do to put ourselves in this situation. How are all these foreign? I can't go over to Bangladesh and make the money Bangladeshis are making over here. They wouldn't even support me. But they get all the support they want over here. They're getting support from you, whether you know it or not. And most of the time, you don't know it because you don't know who you are. This is what I'm saying. Get with your family. Do a history search on yourself. That's what you want to do. Forget everything else. Do a history search on yourself. You're going to be surprised what you find.
Put
What you say, Lisa? You muted.
I'm gonna tell you.
You muted. You muted.
I'm trying. Okay. Okay. All right. Because it kept muting me back. That was weird. Anyway, that pendant thing with the Africa China thing, that's a real thing. These Africans are in cahoots with China. They family. The Chinese are taking over Africa and they're trying to talk about that, but they're really trying to get this. They're trying to get America. All right. And they're going to use your identity. Once again, somebody's going to take your identity because why? Because you go into these Africans and giving them your patent information. Every daggone week, chick talking about patents, but ain't talking nothing about her patents. Ain't talking about nothing she got. Ain't talking about nothing she did or is doing. But she want to talk about it because she wants y'all calling her and reaching out to her and giving you her information so she can pass it on to these daggone Chinese folks. And let me tell you, I've seen them at the courthouse where I'm from. What is a China woman in the courthouse for? Those old patents don't have nothing to do with her history. Nothing. What's the African doing in the courthouse? I saw one of them too. And I saw one in the graveyard looking at my ancestors' names. Understand that they want what we got, and you being distracted. You busy playing, listening to people who are playing daggone war games and angry games and all doing all kinds of stuff, but what they need to be doing. You got to take a hard look at these people. What are these people, and what's their true story, and what's their real background, and what are they really up to, and who's paying them? Who's paying them to keep confusion up? Are they being paid to keep confusion going? We need to start focusing on that. When you have free time, you should be talking to your families, researching your families, and reading and talking to your babies, the kids, the teenagers, and getting their heads straight and letting them know all this information that you've learned about our culture, about our history, about the truth, about what's going on in politics and what's going on in show business, all the fakeness and how we're being manipulated. That needs to be shared with your family as well. Everybody needs to be woke. No more daggone fluoride. Don't drink the fluoride water. No damn fluoride toothpaste. No daggone aluminum in your daggone deodorant. Don't use deodorant if you don't have to. You can use daggone baking soda. You could daggone use daggone cider. Apple cider vinegar can be used for everything. I don't suggest use it for uncut, but it can be used for everything. So anyway, but what am I going to? So, the next one, solutions, more solutions. Let's go to the solutions. First, I want to ask everybody that's in the chat to please like, share, and subscribe. and hit your notification bell. This is the Indigenous one. He is on every Friday, most Sundays, and occasionally on Mondays, and also on occasional Saturdays and Thursdays. Hit your notification bell so you can actually catch him, and you will hear his absolutely authentic critical thinking. Nobody else is the father or the founder of indigenous critical thinking except the indigenous one. So I really need you all to hit that like, hit that button, subscribe and share. Like Mike Gills always tells you, hit the one, like it, share it. He's always pushing the daggone people, the daggone get his numbers up. We need you to get these numbers up. We need you to share it. Share it on all your social media. Share it on your Instagram. Share it on your daggone Twitter. Share it everywhere. And let's get his numbers up because he deserves it. He's been at it for the longest. He needs to get it. Come on, let's get that. All right. So next. Okay. Whew, that's what we need to do. We need to love ourselves. We need time and space. We need, even if you're just sitting on a park bench, you ain't got to be at a ocean side with a nice little captain on. You ain't got to be that. You could be in your kitchen with a captain on. You could be you could be in the park. You could be on your patio. You could be, at your window. It doesn't have to be complicated, but you can have your peace of mind. We have to have we have to heal ourselves, and we got to take time for ourselves. It involves you actually focusing on it. It involves you actually focusing on you. Right. Well, it depends. If you eat well, you're right. True, true. If you eat well, you're not going to need, well, I don't know. So everybody's chemistry is different though. Just like certain people aren't really that funky, and some little boys, when they turn, boy, it's like funk. Where the funk come from? You know what I mean? And it's partially diet, but it's also just like everybody's a little different. Everybody got different glands and chemistry. I don't know, but yeah, eating will can help that as well. Your diet can definitely help things and change your how funky you are, deodorant or whatever. But certain people just have just very active sweat glands. So if they need it, they need it. But the reality is, like most things can be fixed by what we put in and what we take out. We're gonna get to that. Moving on. But merely let me focus. So get back to my focus. I'm being distracted. Basically, like I said, yeah, go to the next one. Quiet. It involves us just being quiet sometimes. Sometimes just shut off everything. Just get out and listen to the leaves. Listen to the nothing. Listen to the birds. Listen to my chickens and my and the rooster and all them. They all and the duck and the goose. They're all quiet now. But just listening to them and watching them is very meditative. Just taking a walk. Just being quiet. What do you say about the men?
Seriously quiet. No, just don't talk. I mean, see if you can go quiet for a week, see if you can do that, because you will pick up a lot. Because a lot of time we just want to run our yap, and that's all we doing is running our mouth, and we're not saying nothing to nobody. We're not making people think. We're not getting people to see stuff a certain way. We're not connecting people back to the land. When you telling people something, tell them nature. That nature is how they got here. And all of a sudden, we think we can just cut ourselves off from it and do all this stuff they do in the city, or all this dumb shit we were trained to do that only benefits others. I think when we be quiet for a minute, we'll start figuring some things out. There's too much yapping going on and nobody's saying nothing. It's like like Lisa was talking about earlier, the lady showing her titties. Are you serious? We're on the whole sex thing. We don't even know what sex is for. We just doing it because we're horn dogs, males and females. Huh? This is what I'm saying. We're demoralized. We have no ethics. And so if you go to your grave like that, remember, you only here for life is just a moment. You ain't here forever. Shouldn't you try to do the things right? To show your children, grandchildren, great grandchildren, generation 7 generations down the road can look at you and say, hey, I want to be like him. Isn't that what we're supposed to be? And you don't have to be all smart and go to college to do all this. This is just you. You want to do this. And we're in a culture that we just want to get into any dumb shit that they come out with. We want to go ahead and try it. Because that's what we do. But we like to pretend like we don't do it. So do the right thing. Damn, teach your kids to do the right. That's all you have to do. It's that simple. And that's what I got to say on quiet. Just be quiet. It'll come to you.
A lot of things, and that's why they got us all hooked on on this media, because we don't get a chance to be quiet. We don't get a chance to heal our minds, to heal our spirit. We don't even try to get a chance to hear our ancestors, because we're the chatter, all the daggone interference. We don't. And so we have to seek that. We have to seek some quiet out. It doesn't have to be a lot of time. Take it in small steps. Take a walk. um, the other thing is, what did I want to say about women? We women are the gatekeepers. We have a duty. Like the men, they gonna act like horn dogs. They really are. But we have the power to keep them in check. If we don't act like hoes, they don't. I mean, unless they're homosexual, which I can't. But let me go back. Like I said, if we actually act like we're honorable women that have some kind of moral compass, that has some self-control, then they're going to be respectful of us. They're only as buck wild as we encourage or allow. We've created this situation, free for all. Everybody do what you want. Everybody, everything. If you feel it, it's all good. No, no, no. That was not our. That was the propaganda they gave us to destroy our unity. I was homeless for 3 years. After the first year, I decided to stop talking, and I did it for 2 whole years. Didn't have shit to say. Well, that's cool. I'm glad you've come up and done your and lived your best life, and I'm glad you are overcomer and a powerful person that you are, and that's amazing that you have risen up and that you were going through all that. I'm sorry that you
And
had to
so,
go through all
and so
that, but I'm happy. I'm
when you
happy
can,
that you are the powerful being that you are, huh?
when you can do that, when you can stop talking, you start getting spoken to. I mean, damn, don't you do that when you go to bed at night?
Right,
You hear the
right,
voices call, you hear the voices talking to you.
right,
Listen and decipher what they're telling you.
right.
It's just that simple.
Next.
So
I think it's important for men. What you think?
uh, fishing, swimming in that lake, a whole have a contest swimming across the lake, stuff we used to go fishing with no fishing poles. I mean, there's the possibilities what we could be doing to change the trajectory of our lives and others is boundless.
Exactly.
We gotta stop doing what's shown to us, what other
Right.
people do. What do we
Right.
do? I mean, don't we come and have ideas and dreams, and don't we listen to those voices? Shouldn't we be doing something nobody else is doing? You do that anyway. And like an indigenous cotton picker said, we scared of nature today. We scared. So that's what I'm saying. That's our power right there. And they got us skipping up and down the street on this concrete that's not doing the job. So nature, I think if we turn back to nature, we'll get a lot of our power back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. We need to get back to nature. We need to definitely get out and enjoy, and the fresh air. And this is the other thing. The thing that remind me of that picture of him at the fishing. Let me tell you something. A staycation. A lot of time, this is the thing. This is one thing I noticed when I move around a lot. I travel for work and stuff at times. But what I've discovered is that when I'm away from home and I come back, I try to treat home like it's a vacation spot because I haven't been there for a minute, right? And I'm telling you, if you actually looked at your home and your neighborhood differently, you would find out there's something right around the corner from you that you didn't even know was there. But when you go on vacation, you get all relaxed and you get like, oh, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna try this. And you talk to people that you normally wouldn't be chatty. You wouldn't be like, oh, what's so and so? And da, 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 da. But if you bring a vacation mindset to your home set, you can change your perspective on things and have a vacation experience right in your neighborhood. Really, it's that simple.
That's simple.
And dance. Dance while you clean. Enjoy your house. Enjoy your daggone time. Enjoy your bedtime. Enjoy everything and make everything a more of a celebration. It's what you bring to the table that makes the difference. It's your mindset that's controlling everything. Nobody else's. And don't let nobody else's mindset become yours. Don't allow their mindset in you. A lot of times we watch these people that are angry, these people that are confusing, these things, people that are manipulative and shoving daggone things in our face. They give us their mindset. Don't take on that mindset. Don't take on it. You create your joy. The joy is in you. And that's what you need to focus on. Focus on the joy that is yours, that is inside of you. Don't let
And,
anybody else take that away.
and if there ain't no beauty, create some beauty.
There you go. Next. What you got to say?
Nature, nature. Wherever you go in America, especially here in the South on the East Coast somewhere, all you have are these national parks and nature. These are places that we used to roam all the time. This is where we used to get most of our ideas from. Now, most of the trees have been cut down, but it's still one of the last remaining places on earth that has this many trees. If these trees go, we go with them. So this is what I'm saying. When we turn our back on nature, we're basically turning our back on ourselves. See, we can't say nobody did nothing and all that. We turning our back on what produced us, what fed us, what housed us, and then pretend like I don't know what you're talking about. This is what created you. You don't let all these people come over here and take your home from you, and you have that dumb look on your face, because that's what's happening now. Next.
Let's talk about some other solutions. Let's talk about how we can feed our brain. A lot of times, let me tell you, we are actually clinically depressed. Like a lot of us are have a lot of anxiety, and anxiety can kill us. Anxiety is a. I have seen patients die from anxiety. I've seen it. In fact, it's one of the number one things I think that gets to people is anxiety. We have to feed our brains. We have to take care of our mental health, and getting outside and getting air and putting ourselves in motion and eating the right things are part of it. And now the thing I don't agree with, we don't get enough iron. So using iron pans and copper pans and copper mugs and copper containers, please do that. We don't get enough copper because the way we used to get copper was it was in the soil. Now they wash the potatoes before they sell them to us. Half the times, if you don't get your fresh food from the soil, you're not getting any copper. unless you're just getting your potatoes directly out of your soil in Georgia or places that have high contents of copper in the soil. But we're never getting enough copper or iron, so that's not true. It's not overload's not going to kill you. However, the other thing that's important is, I mean, trans fats, they're always awful, but fats that are healthy, and even like we discussed with Deidre a while back, that fat is actually good. And fat actually is neuron protective. So good fats like in salmon and croakers and tuna and spots and different fishy fishes that have a lot of fat content. Even sardines have a calcium content because you tend to eat those bones. Those are great for your brain. Leafy green vegetables, all the beans. Man, let me tell you something. Y'all go to them farmers markets and them daggone Chinese Asian markets and go get you sacks of beans, because if something shakes down where the stores are shut down, you can always boil some beans. You can always and also I want y'all to get yourself a little stove, like a little camp stove, and get yourself some little propane, so something that no matter what. Because let me tell you, if you got a gas stove in the house, the gas, even if the electric goes out, you can still do the gas. Just you need a lighter, that's all. But let me tell you something. If you can get a little daggone, even your grill works with daggone wood and daggone charcoal. You just got to make sure you got it so you can always cook. But always have a backup plan. If you live in an apartment, make sure you got some little, like I said, a little tiny grill that will work on wood, or a little tiny, stove that'll work, with propane or wood, little wood stove, something like that. You can burn something underneath, like a little daggone hibachi, okay? Because you can always eat some beans. Beans are amazing. Canned beans, but make it your own. That'd be better. But yeah, I'm saying you can stock up on canned beans, whatever. But beans are good for the brain, and we tend not to eat as much as we should, and what we used to do. That used to be like a major part of our eating and our indigenous life. Beans, squash, potatoes, sweet potatoes, white potatoes. Potatoes are good for daggone your it prevents depression. There's a person that wrote a book, potatoes, potatoes versus Prozac, or potatoes. What it's called? Y'all know in the chat. Potatoes, potatoes for Prozac for potatoes, or something like that. Anyway, but basically, potatoes really help with depression. They really, really do. So you really want to have like increase your potato intake, and you can grow them real easy. Your old potatoes that you maybe didn't eat, throw them in the ground. Throw them in the ground. All you need is just a sack. And you need some air underneath that dirt. Put some paper towels. Save your paper towels. Somebody put bottles in the daggone old bottles in the bottom of the soil. Don't use plastic in the bottom of your soil. That is very European thinking. Like, that's disgusting. You can use a paper towel to add a little air pockets in between your soil. It's paper. It breaks down. It's fine. But this is the thing. So what else? We talked about greens. We talked about grapes and berries and nuts. All these things. Chickpeas. Talked about nuts. I told you about that. Leafy greens. All these things are important to daggone increase our brain's ability to heal from the trauma, from the stress, to actually not be depressed. And you can actually use a supplement. You can use supplementary magnesium. And there's a supplement called Calm that's on Amazon. And like I mentioned it to you before, my daughter, when she had a little bit of postpartum depression, I got her some. I said, "God, let me send you something for you. Take high doses of this." She took some high doses for a couple of days, and she says, "Mom, something just clicked over. I feel normal again." We need to have a balance of nutrients. Sometimes you can't get them from eating everything, especially now when a lot of the foods that we buy are not even food like that we think they are. A lot of these fruits and vegetables aren't even fruits and vegetables. They're manufactured. They're not grown. So, a lot of times people are being vegan and stuff, and they ain't doing good for themselves because they say it's organic. It ain't organic. Somebody made that. If you didn't grow it yourself, you can't trust it. Really. Unless you actually know who grew it. You know what I mean? Like my eggs. I know what my chickens are eating. I try not to give them any soy. I give them like wild bird feed with berries and nuts in it. Man, they kill them nuts. They be killing them nuts and berries. I'm like saying, we have to get back into being closer to the source of our food, and you know and getting closer to the source. There are people, there are indigenous people in Georgia who will sell you like packages of vegetables from their farms. They have a service. Make an effort to buy from us. Make an effort to get your things from the source. We buy from Amazon. Why can't we use a service that actually uses indigenous products? And in our next show, we'll try to do that. Not this week, because we got other stuff, but probably on Sunday or Monday, or maybe like next Friday, not this Friday, but the next Friday. We'll try to do look at some of the things you guys should be looking at, some of the products you guys should be using that are out there, some of the people that have businesses. And if you have a business, let's put that up here. Let's start promoting each other. Let's start cross promoting each other. A lot of us have businesses that we should be promoting and talking about. Let's get that going. Let's do things that are going to edify and build us up. Next. Oh yes. They actually say in this that there are 21 foods high in magnesium. But in addition to that, they also say that most people are very naturally low in magnesium. And these nuts, the potatoes, like I mentioned, that's not really high in magnesium. But I just got to tell you, for your mental health, nothing beats those potatoes. Avocados are big in my magnesium, beans, leafy vegetables, bananas, which we didn't talk about, and that fish, that good fishy, fatty fish. Very good for very high in magnesium. Moving on. Also, let's get, like I said, get closer to the source. If you start growing a couple of things, start with some microgreens in your kitchen, or some herbs. You can start small. Just grow, put a couple of seeds in. It's amazing. I remember when my kids were little, the first time I threw seeds down the ground, they thought I was crazy. I broke up some ground and started putting. They thought, "Mommy, what are you doing?" And then they were amazed when they saw the arugula coming up, and the dead sage, and the daggone spinach, and the tomato. They were amazed. And to this day, my daughters are just fixated with growing things themselves. They want to grow. They grow things. My oldest one grows for her family. She always has a garden every year with her boys, so our boys see her grow. And the raising of the chickens, everybody took part of it. We all got the eggs. We had incubators. We all got to take part in them hatching and growing from little chicks into little chickens. So we all, like, it can be a family thing, but there's something edifying that it gives you, that you are actually growing, creating life, whether it's just a leaf, or it's an animal, or it's a bird. There's something that you gain in your soul from that. I just want to say that. Next. Resolve. Let's resolve. So every week we got stuff that we be saying, let's resolve this, or let's resolve that. Okay, we got a whole list. So it's building, y'all. So this is the thing. We're not just gonna let you go. We're gonna hold you accountable to working on these things. We're not just talking to you to talk. We're talking to you to help you walk, to help you run, to help you climb, to help you get to the next level. So I want you guys to work on not only loving yourself, but teaching the ones around you, the ones that aren't your family, that are your kin, your friends, your neighbors. Reach out, get these young people, these old people. They need to know to love themselves, heal themselves, get quiet, enjoy your alone time, forgive others. You got to forgive. You got to let go of any hurt. Forgive people. Give people second and third chances. Why not? Don't you want a second and third chance? We're human. Never alone. Just give. Forgive yourself. A lot of times we mad at ourselves. We're too hard on ourselves. Perfection is a problem. You don't need to be perfect. Don't stress yourself out. Perfect people lie and have to hide a lot of things. Perfect people tend not to be honest, right? Don't be perfect. Be perfectly flawed. Forgive. And be forever a work in progress, y'all. A work in progress. Increase your outdoor time. Have lunches outside, even in the rain. Use your media time to call an aged relative and ask them questions. Ask them about people who passed. Get that list of people that you need to look up, your grandparents, great grandparents. Use that time to ask them about how they used to live, how the food they ate, how did they live, the music they played, what they did for fun, what games they played, how did they make their lives work, who did they admire the most, who was the worst in the family. Just get all details. When you get quiet, you need to get quiet and you need to communicate with your ancestors. Really, really do the research. When you research them, you recite their names out loud. Let them hear you call out their names. Say their names as you research them. Say their names as you talk, go to the graveyards. And this is the other thing. I want you to make a plan to have a reunion this year. I want you to make a plan to go to your homelands this year where your peoples are at, where your people are from. Visit the homelands, visit the graveyards. Make that a goal. Get out, get fresh air, do different things, but you can do it right in your little vicinity. There's things going on right around us, but we don't pay attention because we're in this rat race. Slow it down, just take a minute and chat with somebody you never chat with, or act like you're on vacation and you're in a new place and be comfortable and be relaxed. Be open. Know what I'm saying?
Know what you're saying?
Anything else? I missed some things on the list. I know I can't see them. So, you got anything else?
Listen, all I have to say is this. We see where the world is trying to take everything. And like Prince say, are we going to let the elevator take us down? You know, I don't think we came here to be somebody else's footstool. I know I didn't. And I know it's not my job to teach my children that's what they are and that's what they're supposed to be. So you see what's going on in the world right now. None of it makes no sense. All of it's stupid. And if we keep following the path that we've been following, you know what's happening. Georgia Guidestones tell you. And they just let these Ukrainians over here and they president just tell you they in these Nazi groups over in Ukraine and they're over here now. We're surrounded, y'all. Just being stuck on dick and pussy, that shit ain't cool. That's not what we supposed to be passing down to our children. So I think we better look at a hard look, starting now and start doing the right thing. And that's all I got, Lise.
I want to encourage y'all to get on the swing. Not if you're too big for the swing. Don't break the children's play down. You know, like I said, a sturdy swing or porch swing. Get on a swing because it does something. You know how the old people rock in the rocking chair? There is something about swinging that stabilizes your brain and resets you. And also make sure you're swinging your babies on swings. Swings are important. Swings will reset you. They'll lift your spirit. They actually that motion is something your brain needs. Your brain needs. You notice like real crazy people be rocking. It calms them. It's a needed thing, but it's also a basic need. We need that motion. Get on a swing. Just go hop on a playground on your lunch break or something. You know, do something that you used to do like that. But that is a very important motion that actually will help reset your mind. It will help reset your mind. I'm just letting you know. Until next time, y'all. So next time we're gonna be talking about the United States of Immigration has the Amerindian enslaved. All right? We're going to get down into the daggone details of the history. But I appreciate y'all. And I just, like I said, we got the list. We're going to hold each other accountable for getting ourselves better.
Until next time, y'all. Peace.